This morning, the Supreme Court handed down a major decision rooted in First Amendment rights, but opponents say it violates the Civil Rights Act. 6 justices ruled that certain businesses can refuse to serve gay people. In this case, they sided with a Christian website designer in Colorado who doesn't want to create websites for same-sex weddings due to religious objections. Kelley Robinson is with us now. She is the president of the Human Rights Campaign. Kelley, thank you for being with us today. This argument that won over the majority was that this is not discrimination because they are not refusing to provide a product, rather they are refusing to provide speech. What do you say to that?
This is absolutely discrimination. It is giving license to businesses to deny services to LGBTQ plus people simply for being who we are, simply for loving who we love. Now, I also think it's true that what this decision doesn't do is provide unfettered access for federal and state governments to discriminate. It should be viewed as a very narrow decision that only applies to original custom goods and services. So, I mean that, yes, it does mean that a website designer can refuse to create a custom website for a gay couple, but they cannot refuse to offer a standard design or template website to that same couple. It does mean that a photographer could refuse to give a custom engagement session to an interfaith couple, but it does not mean that that same photographer can allow that interfaith couple to not have access to a standard package. So we should view this as narrowly, but bigger than that, we should take it as an indication of what the court is doing, and that is rolling back rights and providing the door opening for discrimination in this country to advance.
Earlier this month, HRC declared a national state of emergency for members of the LGBTQ plus community. Would this ruling be as worrisome to you, as problematic, if it were not in the midst of what we are seeing as a nationwide sort of repudiation of gay and transgender Americans?
This ruling is dangerous on its own, full stop and period. And in this broader context, we have to see it for what it is, part of a campaign of hate and discrimination by our opposition to target LGBTQ plus people for political points. There are organizations that are behind not only the hundreds of bad bills that we've seen in the states, but also behind these court cases that their sole goal is to promote hate. Organizations like the Alliance Defending Freedom, they are the same organization that supported criminalizing same-sex marriage. They're the same organization that was behind the Dobbs case that overturned Roe v. Wade. Let's see this for what it is, a campaign of hate that has to be stopped.
In his ruling, Justice Gorsuch, in his opinion, he raises hypotheticals of, say, a Muslim movie director having to make a film with a Zionist message, a gay male website designer having to make a site for an organization that is opposed to same-sex marriage. And he says without this protection, they could be compelled to do those things. Do you think he is correct there?
I want to talk about the real-life application of what is happening. LGBTQ plus people across this country are already experiencing record numbers of hate crimes against us, an incredible wave of anti-LGBTQ plus legislation meant to harm us, and discrimination that's legalized in more than half the states. I mean, today, a same-sex couple could be kicked out of a restaurant just for being gay. A same-sex couple could be kicked out of a grocery store for holding hands. A trans person could be kicked out of a barber shop. Discrimination is happening in this country now, and it is a real problem. I don't care what sort of rhetoric you try to wrap it in. At the end of the day, this case is legalizing discrimination that has to be addressed.
Thank you so much for being with us. We really, really do appreciate your time. Kelley Robinson with the Human Rights Campaign.